her problem? That must be the shopkeeper with a whistle hung around her neck. She looks a bit nervous. I wonder if that's because of me. Hello.
What do you want?
This is a shop, isn't it? Then maybe I want to buy something?
Okay.
What is this? Willow Creek's main shopping drag?
Oh, we've got everything that people need here. Usually, you can order too, but then it'll be delivered next week, if that's okay with you.
That won't be necessary. I'm just having a look around. I'm Darren, by the way.
I know exactly who you are.
Oh, really? Who am I then?
You're the arsonist who was in the newspaper.
I'm not gonna set your shop on fire. Anyway, I'm innocent.
Oh, I'm sure you are. But please, don't stay too long. Otherwise, I will have to call the police.
Yeah, right.
And without a telephone, I'll just use my whistle.
The old woman who just ran out. Could it be that she's a little crazy?
Dorothy? Oh no, she's just as crazy as you are. I mean, she's fine. The whistle was her idea.
Are you scared of me?
Of course not. I've got my whistle. As soon as anyone comes too close, I blow it. And it's so loud, even the gravedigger in Wormhill can hear it.
Clever, Abaya.
How do you know my name?
You've got that little badge on?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, your name's quite uncommon, Abaya. Where does it come from?
It's Indian. Don't you like it?
Oh, I do. It sounds very pretty. Does it mean anything?
The fearless one.
See ya.
I hope not.
All the most important newspapers are there. The Final Times, The Moon, Daily Black Mirror, and the Willow Creek Telegraph. Milk. The latest prices of apples, bread, and milk are written on this big board. Tea, 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 and, oh, look, tea. Instant porridge, soup in packets, and masses of powdered pudding. The infamous English cuisine at a glance. Huge eggs from huge chickens. I don't know why, but I find that funny. A random selection. There's everything from romantic novels to Zen guidebooks. A shopping basket. I don't need it. I'm only having a look around.
I hope you only want to cut up veggies with that. Sir?
Some very nice knives. Some very nice knives. The sales girl was terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack. This open bag of coffee beans makes the shop smell real nice. My mom always used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, one of my moms. Candy for kids, although I haven't seen a single one so far. It's the news on a news channel. I assume it's gonna be like that all day. Maybe they show documentaries about heavy trucks or aircraft carriers in between the bulletins. But I'm not interested. That's a Transylvanian-sized portion of garlic. We can assume the shop won't be attacked by vampires. Brandy, spirits, and various types of whiskey. Everything an aching heart could wish for. Various smoking products. Tobacco, cigars, stuff for pipes. The inhabitants of Willow Creek seem to really enjoy smoking. A hint of France in Willow Creek. Walking maps of the area. Indispensable for a suspected murderer out on bail, like myself. I don't know why I shouldn't just steal these maps. Everyone here thinks I'm a criminal anyway. I'd like to buy one of these walking maps.
Please, take it. You don't need to come to the till. It's on the house.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that's how I like vegetables. Microwave ready on top of a steak. Wow, a huge fridge. It's the Eco Freezer 100. At least that's what's written on it. Ice cream. My favorite flavors. And a good size, too. That'll have gherkins in it. The sales girl is terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack. The sales girl is terrified. Some very nice knives. So absorbed in the conversation that they don't even notice me. Perhaps it's better that way. Is that Tom's underwear hanging out to dry? Nope. Cloths. They aren't particularly clean, but I wouldn't expect anything else from Tom's pub. You know? I'm glad I drank bottled beer last time I was there. The windows have colored plastic stuck on them. It's hard to make out anything. I'll have time to sit there when I'm old. It says 3 kegs, probably of beer. You can hardly make out what used to be written there, but I assume that nothing edible has ever been served here, at least since Tom inherited the pub. That's Tom's pub. I think he's still a bit angry because I left him in the swamp, and stole his car. Tom would like to see me dead, at least that's the last thing he said to me. I'll only go in there again once I've got a black belt in karate, or when the pub has a new owner. Murderous greetings from Willow Creek, the usual postcards and brochures. Anyone want to buy an E? Probably belongs to a fisherman. Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course, come on in.
Dr. Winterbottom's lighter. Quite an expensive one. I guess it was a present. Whenever I'm here, the ashtray is full. Dr. Winterbottom smokes like a chimney. Perhaps she should be in therapy. Today's newspaper. There are probably lots of new, unbelievable revelations about the arsonist in it. You could hardly call this straggle of flowers a bouquet. The famous psychiatrist's couch. Until now, I always thought it was a joke, but it's actually quite comfortable. My adoptive mother had a lamp like that. I always had fun hiding in it when I was a kid. I wonder if the record of our discussions will end up in there. A Newton's cradle. The ball passes on its momentum to the next one, which passes it on to the next until it reaches the last one, which can't pass it on any further and is kicked into the air. A simple example of kinetic energy, but its only use is to work this toy. A Native American dream catcher. It's supposed to protect you from nightmares. Doctor?
What's troubling you, Adrian?
This Spooner reckons he's a bit of a big shot.
He's one of those people who pack their own bags and then complain when they're too heavy.
What kind of bags?
Oh, he mucked something up in London and was posted here as punishment. Something he's not dealing with too well.
What did he do? Booked the wrong guy?
You know about it? Well, Mr. Spooner is a bit of a trigger-happy cowboy. As far as I know, he overstepped his authority back in London, and that led to some guilty people getting off. Or maybe the other way round. However, I'm not exactly right in the picture with all this.
Oh, great. A bad-natured investigator who can't tell the difference between guilty and innocent. I couldn't have come up against a better guy. Do you believe me?
Darren, Adrian, we've gone through this so many times before. Of course I believe you.
Then why am I still on the hit list?
I'm a doctor, not a judge. By the way, they rejected the assessment of your not being of sound mind.
Rejected? But what about the awful nightmares?
That kind of reaction is only normal, Adrian. If somebody suddenly revealed to me that I was descended from a long line of bloodthirsty murderers, I'd have nightmares too.
How come you ended up here in the first place?
A colleague of mine I'd known from my student days. A doctor. Heinz Hermann. Once worked here in the sanatorium. He was a friend of the Gordons. Then, 12 years ago, those dreadful murders took place. Hines was one of the victims. I came here to give his family and the others a little spiritual support, and I'm still here. That's just how life goes sometimes.
Get this, I've been released on bail.
Well, that's a good reason to celebrate.
I'm not quite so sure. The bail was paid anonymously. You know anything about that by any chance?
Anonymously? No. Who'd do something like that?
No idea. To be honest, I'd hoped you were behind it. You like living in Willow Creek?
Yes, I like the life and the people. It's like time stood still here.
And every few years, along comes some psycho and murders half a dozen locals.
Yes, well, compared to the murder statistics in London, it's a proper holiday here.
Do you see me as being an arsonist?
Judging by your nightmares, you do at least seem to have a violence-orientated imagination.
Yeah, but Stephen King has that too.
As far as I'm aware, he has never been under suspicion of an arson attack resulting in 3 dead.
Whose side are you actually on?
On your side, Adrian.
Good. I swear to you that I've only ever told you the truth.
There are as many truths as there are people, Adrian, and we still have to find yours.
I had a strange experience earlier. It was just like one of my nightmares, but this time I was awake. It was in the police station, just as I was wanting to pick up my stuff. I suddenly found I had awesome strength. I dragged the guy to me through the bars and rammed my pencil into his eye. Wham! Then it was all over. It was just so real. Scary.
You don't say.
Huh, great. So I'm cursed and possessed.
I was talking to a colleague about you the other day. She's how shall I put it? She understands alternative therapies.
What's that all about then? Drugs? Electric shock? Voodoo?
Hypnosis.
You're not serious.
It would at least be a possible way of finding out more.
Well, for my part, as long as you don't saw open the top of my skull. These sessions, how long are they supposed to continue for?
What do you mean?
Well, I've been coming here every day for the past 3 weeks, but I'm still having nightmares every night, and the assessment says I'm 100% fit.
We ought to try hypnosis.
And what's that supposed to do? You want to join in on my nightmares?
Let's just try it tomorrow. If we can get to your roots, then perhaps we'll understand what your dreams are trying to tell us.
Boo! That's what they want to tell us. The dreams, I mean. Well, okay then, Doc. If you think that this might help me in some way. Catch you later.
Take care.
I don't have anything to ask her right now. Dr. Winterbottom's notebook. Probably very revealing. At some point, she'll be able to write her memoirs with it. I wonder if the record of our discussions will end up in there. Willow Creek's Museum of Local History, a valuable hoard of English cultural history. Up there is Dr. Joyce Winterbottom's practice. It's very cozy. There's a poster hanging here. We're rebuilding for you. Soon will be even more spectacular. Experience the horror up close and personal. Reopening on the 1st of December. Oh, that's in a few days' time. I'd just like to see my file before I leave the village. It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that. A dry sponge full of chalk dust. You can hardly make out what used to be written there, but I assume that nothing edible has ever been served here, at least since Tom inherited the pub. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. They probably don't need it anymore. A narrow, thin board. I found it amongst the remains of the fair. Looks comfortable, unlike the chairs. Hello? I'll have another coffee, please.
Sure.
The sponge is dripping now. I don't want to be carrying it around with me for too long. It would get rather unpleasant. Now it's open again. I'll wet the ceiling rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order somewhat.
Another one of these flat days today. I could really do with something to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
It's not Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? But can't you bung them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
How involved were you in the investigation of my case?
I searched the sewer system and the bunker.
And you didn't find any clues?
No.
That just can't be true.
It's bloody dark down there, Mr. Michaels, and full of rats. Not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything new on the kidnapping? Have you spoken to Tom, Bobby, or the kid in Wales?
According to the statement, Tom was at Alton Towers with Bobby at the time.
And you don't find it a little bit strange that those two went to a theme park?
The only strange thing was that Bobby was in hospital for 2 days afterwards with concussion. But we've got a medical certificate that proves that.
And what if Tom was lying?
We can't prove it. He had 2 tickets for the theme park and the paperwork from the hospital.
Damn. And the boy?
There's no one called Van Helsing in Wales.
Can you make a copy of my file and send it to my lawyer?
Didn't he get one ages ago?
He, wants to have the current version for the embassy.
Not possible.
Something wrong?
I'd forgotten. The copier gave up the ghost a few weeks back, but there's a new one on order.
Are you being serious?
It's not so bad. I've so little to do here, I could type up most of the documents.
I understand. So, would you be so kind as to type my file?
No.
And what if I fix that thing?
All right then, you go and see what you can do with it.
How long are you gonna look for Angelina?
She'll be deemed missing until we find her.
Even if she's long since dead?
We haven't found a body yet, Mr. Michaels.
Spooner, your inspector, is he always so nice?
I don't know. He was in the homicide department in London until half a year ago. Then, he got redeployed here as a punishment.
That explains a lot.
Since then, he's tried everything to get back out of here. He locks people up for the smallest of misdemeanors. Good for the statistics, you see.
And you can't do anything about it?
What does a bear do about the winter? He rolls himself up and sleeps until the spring comes.
Do you believe I set fire to the castle?
Well, Mr. Michaels, you claim to be Samuel Gordon's son, and you were at the scene of the crime with a smoldering torch in your hand.
I had that to defend myself with.
Against the mysterious secret order that nobody knows about and nobody's seen?
It's mentioned in the Gordon Chronicles.
500 years ago.
Forget it.
And then there was the thing with poor Miss Valley, right? We found your tracks at the scene of the crime.
I told you, forget it. Goodbye, Constable. I guess those are the keys to the cells. Apart from the fact that everyone here would notice if I took them, my cell is open. It can't be that difficult to fix a copier. I studied it once. Well, kind of. What if we got here? The fuse is blown. Switch to turn it on, and you press the green button to copy. If I twist and connect the wires that work, it should be able to copy again. That should do it. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
The copier's working again.
Hmm?
Now can you copy my file?
Sure. Then I'll send the copy to your lawyer. The copy of your file?
Then I can send it myself.
The inspector insists that no files can leave the building without authorization.
I see. Damn. Constable?
Mm-hmm?
When does the mail go? My lawyer needs the file as soon as possible.
I'll post it later on. It ought to be collected this afternoon.
Thanks. Goodbye, Constable. I'm not going back there voluntarily. That's probably just decoration, considering the weather here. I'll just leave him in peace for now.
Jones and Partners Chambers. Please leave your name and telephone number. We're in your corner.
Thin gourd. I found it amongst the remains of the fair. There were a load of knives in that before, or am I mistaken?
Sold out.
All of the knives have gone. So either there's a cookery contest happening here soon, or the whole of Willow Creek has armed itself. The sales girl is terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack.